It's coffee break. It's been another week.
We're both healthy again.
I know.
You got over your sickness like 2 days after.
Uh-huh.
I had my sickness like a day after you.
Mm-hmm.
And we both managed to be healthy enough now.
Just be happy there weren't visuals for this podcast because it was disgusting.
It was gross.
It just kept coming out of me. It was horrible. I felt like crap for a day, and then after resting,
Yeah.
I felt good again. Except for it's still in my nose.
Yeah, there's like a little bit of, you might hear it in our voices a little bit.
Yep.
A little bit of a gunk still in there.
Yep, nasally.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, other than that, we're fine. Today, they announced the Avengers Doomsday cast.
Yeah. So, what? Who is in it? I only know of Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan, Vanessa Kirby,
Yep.
and Chris Hemsworth. That's all I know. That's all that had been announced by the time I heard about this. And then I didn't
You
want to
forgot
spoil
Robert
the
Downey.
rest of them.
You already know
yeah,
Robert
yeah.
Downey's in there. Okay, so Tom Hiddleston,
Okay.
Paul Rudd,
Yeah, sure.
Letitia Wright,
Who's that one?
Black Panther, the new one,
Nice, yeah.
Simu Liu,
Finally. Jeez Louise.
Danny Ramirez, who's the new Falcon,
Okay, cool.
and Winston Duke, who plays M'Baku.
M'Baku.
Yeah,
I like it.
I tried.
I noticed the random T thrown in the middle of the word.
Yeah, I panicked. I just didn't know what to do. I was like, just shove a T in here, and maybe they'll believe you were really cool and authentic.
I know, in your brain, the K was not a thing you read, but you knew the general shape of it.
We also got Thunderbolt characters in here.
Ah.
So Sebastian Stan, Florence Pugh, Wyatt Russell, David Harbour.
Harbor? Yep, Red Guardian.
Yep. Hannah John Kamen, Ghost,
Okay.
and Lewis Pullman,
So you think what is it called?
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts is going to like really be the thing to start setting up what Doomsday is going to be about?
I would guess so.
Weird that it's not the Fantastic Four.
Well,
seems
the
like.
Fantastic Four is later this year.
I guess.
In
Oh.
which,
This is what I bet it's going to be. Thunderbolts will set up what the thing is going to be.
Yeah.
And Fantastic Four is going to be the backstory to explain who this character is.
they haven't announced if Doctor Doom or Robert Downey will be in First Steps.
He should be.
He should be. At least somewhere mentioned, right? In which we also get the Fantastic Four in this movie. Mm-hmm. Right? And then they decide to throw some wrenches at us.
Okay.
And this is what you don't know, and I think you're going to get really excited. Patrick Stewart
What?
as Professor X.
No, stop
Yes.
bringing him back just to kill him again. My heart can't take it.
Ian McKellen.
No, I don't want to see that either.
James Marsden.
James Marsden.
Cyclops.
Okay.
The original girl who played Mystique.
Cool.
Nightcrawler.
Alright, so clearly we're getting X-Men.
And Beast.
Is it Kelsey Grammer?
Yes.
Or is it...
Yeah, no, it's Kelsey Grammer.
Wow.
They got basically the original cast of X-Men coming in.
Weird. I'm gonna say weird.
It is.
Because they're all very, very old. And I definitely expected, like, recasts by this point.
Well, they're... Okay, this is called the multiverse, right?
Yeah.
So they're probably going to be variants of the characters we know or grew up with.
I thought that was what Deadpool's whole adventure was about.
Yeah, but he went to go... What do you mean?
Like, he saw the old legacy characters. Like, the classics. Like Toad and Azazel and Lady Deathstrike.
Yeah.
I guess I expected new faces for these characters this time around.
I thought you'd be more excited about the X-Men.
I'm gonna be honest, it's after watching Xavier die in Logan, and then watching him die again in Doctor Strange 2, I'm mostly just scared I have to watch them all die again.
We don't know that.
Cyclops should be dead. If it's the same Cyclops, he died in the third
I told
one.
you, he's probably going to be a variant. And I am excited. The question of the week is, which X-Men are you most excited for in Doomsday?
Nice.
Me, it's Cyclops, because they just ruined that character. and then they never even tried again. And they clearly just aren't even trying again.
I'm going to say Magneto, just because I really like Magneto, and I think his metal powers would be very fun in a world with characters like Ironheart.
Ironheart wasn't announced for this.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of mechs out there in this world.
Yeah, he could probably take Cap's shield from him.
You could probably goof up a lot of things. Like, a lot of it is technology-based. Like, isn't the Pym particles, like, a technological thing?
Sure, yeah, I guess he could steal the... Okay, you're getting really weird with it.
It's because I like magnet powers.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm excited to see the X-Men. Of course, there's already people jumping to like, is this Avengers versus X-Men?
I doubt it. I mean, well, that could be cool.
It's too soon, in my own opinion. I think it's just fun to bring in these characters because everybody wanted to see them.
Yes.
And because it's the multiverse, this is our last goodbye to them, I guess.
I guess. I don't know how many more last goodbyes I have it in me, though.
Yeah, right?
I'm nervous.
Because the ending of Deadpool and Wolverine, you're right, was about saying goodbye to Fox characters. Mm-hmm. But here they are, there's more of them.
Can't get away from your nostalgia.
Nope, you gotta buy in. So, according to, last week, we were talking about Saw 11.
Yeah.
And how it's not canceled. And it's just two producers just arguing with each other, right? Mm-hmm. And Billy, the puppet from Saw, right, released a tweet where he said that the game is never over. And I thought that was really cute and adorable.
That is cute.
There are rumors it's just simply taking off the release date. Right?
Yeah.
They still want to do this, but there's a leak of what the script is about.
Yeah.
And the script, one of the writers said it's in a timely fashion. And it has to do with the main character, John Kramer, trying to get health insurance.
Yeah.
And this guy is just not going to give it to him. So he decides to do something to him, which is kind of reminiscent.
Just a little topical.
A little topical about what happened recently.
But this was also a plotline from... Which one's the one with the merry-go-round of death?
Yeah, 6.
Yeah. Like, that was the whole plot of that one also.
Well, isn't this also the plot of 10, technically?
Also, yeah, the basis of John Kramer's entire actions is he had a brain tumor.
Yes.
And couldn't, like, he was diagnosed, like, ultimate death.
Yeah.
And that's why he does everything he does, because of the medical problems. So we're gonna circle back around to the medical world eventually.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I will wait patiently.
I also read it was a sequel to Spiral.
That could be cool. I think it'd be cool if they could sew the two
They should.
worlds
They should
together.
put the two together because Spiral feels so left out there. It's just that one-off thing.
It is a good one. I enjoy it, for what it's worth.
Nice. Netflix has announced 8 episodes of a Scooby-Doo live-action adaptation by the guys who brought us Riverdale.
Oh my god. I'm so here for
and
this.
It's about the mystery gang getting together. Because we haven't seen that enough times.
Yes. This is what I want.
Yeah.
I want it to be bad. If
figured...
it's good, that'd be great. But if it's bad, I'm still watching it.
If you can bring that CW flavor of just low quality,
just crazy.
Yeah, trying your hardest with the different color lights you got.
The insane teen drama.
Right.
Insane.
Oh, the love triangles. He didn't even look at me when he said, "I love you."
I said, I saw you. You were kissing Derek, weren't you? Yeah.
So, it's gonna be fun.
I'm so ready for this.
There's no release date.
Dang.
There's no casting. All they said is they're making this.
Please, don't be like the Powerpuff Girls. I would have watched the Powerpuff Girls. I so would have. Let's actually get it out there. I want the Scooby-Doo thing. Please.
Well, why is Warner Brothers so scared of that Powerpuff Girls trailer?
I don't know. Maybe they still actually want to release something? And they're trying to get rid of it, so...
No, they're not going to release anything.
Maybe because Warner Brothers
they're just going to write it off, yeah.
8 episodes. What classic Scooby-Doo monsters do you think we would get?
Realistic ones, I would hope.
Like, okay, we could do Captain Collar's ghost. He's one of my favorites.
Okay.
We could do the chain ghosts. I think
Yeah.
that one could realistically
The wax dummy.
the wax dummy.
Sure.
And then
Dracula.
Robbie the robot. Oh my god. We could so do Robbie the robot.
Who's Robbie the robot?
How do you not know? Did you watch Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
Robbie the robot. He was with the I'm not gonna say his name, but it was the space ghost with like a skull head inside his.
Yes. Okay. I know of this character.
Robbie the robot was also there. He was just a robot, but the space ghost was goofing up Robbie, so people would think Robbie was the one doing the crimes, but it was the space ghost, and it was actually like the manager or something. I don't remember exactly. When you what? This is important.
No, it's not. It's not important. I just went. Oh my god.
We could do Minor 49er.
Yep.
He's always fun. If we could we could have the Hex Girls show up. Oh, talk about the teen dramas.
I didn't think about that. Yeah. Scrappy could appear again.
Yeah.
Oh, they could do a lot of weird things. It's too soon to say anything. I just thought you would be excited to know that they are going to try and make another live-action adaptation.
I'm hyper excited.
And yeah, it's pretty much just from the producers of previous work. Looks like it's going to be, a teen drama.
I'm so here for it.
Which I'm very welcoming towards it since Velma was the last thing we got. And I have nothing good to say about that.
At least Velma proved that there are still a ton of Scooby-Doo fans out there.
Yeah.
So maybe Warner Brothers... Is this Warner Brothers?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll actually make it. They'll have more confidence in actually making it.
Hopefully. With Netflix behind it, I'm sure Netflix would want to push that forward.
So we'll see. I'll wait with bated breath.
We watched the Final Destination Bloodlines trailer.
Yeah.
That is probably one of the funniest trailers I've seen in a while.
Have you seen any Final Destinations?
No, I don't.
You've never watched any of them?
No, once you understand the premise, that you've seen every single one of them.
Yeah, I've watched two of them.
Okay.
The one with the roller coaster and the one with the highway accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're exactly the same. And it's a lot of what we see where it's like Rube Goldberg-esque shenanigans of one thing knocks into something else and everyone just miraculously is too stupid to notice the giant chunk of glass in the ice.
Yeah, there's a giant chunk of glass of ice, and then the hose turns on to hit
like a rake or something.
A rake that turns on the lawnmower, and then the glass of ice gets knocked over. Dad steps on it, even though it's sticking out of the grass. And then he falls over in pain, and the lawnmower is now launched at him, where it hits him in the face. Which also, in order for any of that to work, I would be like, this is just amazing. If that really was a true thing, I would have been like, it's too bizarre.
Yeah.
But it's a movie, so you're like, this is so convoluted, you know?
It's like once you know, everyone except for one, it'll be the final girl. It's just how they're all going to die.
Yeah.
The clever ones have their death be symbolic to how they were supposed to die in the original version. So like on the roller coaster, someone gets decapitated or something. And then when they end up actually dying finally, they still get decapitated. And then there's like a roller coaster motif somewhere involved. They don't always do that.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
When they get decapitated and then when they die, they actually get decapitated.
So what it is with each one is there's going to be a big event where a bunch of people will die. But somebody, I think it's always a girl, a lady, she has like this premonition where she sees how everyone is going to die and she manages to stop the event from happening. So they all live. But now death needs to catch back up to them, so then they end up just dying anyway.
Oh my god, there's a story?
Yeah!
Which, in most of that trailer, is just the old woman talking to the girl, and she's pretty much just explaining the entire plot.
Yes.
Which tells me that's the scene in the movie in which we are just dumb audience and we need to just be info dumped on.
I was saying because there hasn't been a Final Destination in a long time, so I don't think it's like a like a recognizable name for a lot of people anymore.
I'm sure a lot of people watch them because
Well-
they're dumb. They're dumb horror movies.
They are. They're like textbook schlock.
The thing about horror movies is I don't think they'll ever go away. They're
No.
too easy to make, and they tell really weird stories, and it's usually about death, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we as human beings are fascinated by the fact that at one point we die.
Yeah.
You know? And so, yeah, everybody has their own weird little horror genre that they like.
You want to know a fun fact about my backstory as a person? So, we went to the theater one time, and I was terrified of Final Destination.
Okay.
Because I think we were watching Lord of the Rings or something, which is why it would have a trailer for Final Destination before it. That's the only adult movie I can think of watching at the time. When I was very young. I was
Okay,
super
okay.
young. Like 8, maybe. The trailer for Final Destination, one of them, plays. And, like, it's, like, teasing you the deaths and whatnot. And it freaked me out because I was so young. And I turned to my father and I went, "Is that real? Like, is it a documentary?"
Yeah.
He didn't understand my question. He was wondering if I was asking if the movie was real. Like, it was a real movie we could watch. And he said, "Yes, it is real." And so I thought Final Destination was a documentary for too long.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Did you talk to him about it?
I don't think so. I don't think he would remember.
Okay. Damn, that's a way to mess you up. Yeah. That's just psychologically twisted. Anyways, yeah, just at one point in the trailer I saw a tower falling.
Yeah.
And they're like in the middle of Los Angeles. And I was just like, so it's just gonna get crazy, isn't it?
Yes.
And there's gonna be like, and now that you told me, what? So I watched the whole movie, and that's the premonition, and then at the end for the third act, she tries to fix everything. Right? We try to wrap it up as fast as we can.
No, the premonition is like the first 5 minutes. And then the rest of the movie is them being like, "We can escape death. We gotta figure out how to do this." And it's a lot of them going to weird locations and dying in weird ways.
Well, they still die.
Yeah,
That's fun.
because you can't escape death. Naughty, naughty.
Did they piss off Death at some point? I'm sorry. Like,
No, it's because she stopped all the deaths from happening. They were all supposed to die, but because she had her weird premonition, they don't die because she stops the event from going.
but you said they die.
But they will die, yeah. They have to end up dying because they didn't die there. A death is owed.
I'm done. Okay, another trailer that came out was Rust.
Yeah.
Rust is the infamous Alec Baldwin film where he shot and killed the cinematographer. Allegedly.
What did you think of the trailer?
What's the movie about?
Cowboys.
And were you able to understand anything being said?
Nope.
And was there enough action shots to tell you anything?
It's about cowboys.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of quick shots, right? There's movement,
Not
but it's
even-
not action.
Not even like impressive shots
No.
either.
No.
It's so disappointing.
It looks like a crappy Western with way too much money behind it.
So westerns used to be very fun, you know, romanticized.
Sure.
And then at some point at around 2008 or some odd, where they remade True Grit, I think was the first one, where now we're doing it, but we're doing it serious and dramatic style, the real hardships of the Wild West. And ever since then, every year, there's been some Western style movie that's exactly like that. And I've just seen this a million times already. The gritty cowboy films, you know?
Okay.
I've
The
seen...
Unforgiven, which came out in 92, 93.
I don't know.
That's pretty gritty, dude.
Yeah, but now they're all this way. They're all the same.
Yeah, but I would say that it's always been like horror, the Western has sub-genres to it.
I guess.
And this is a more like serious older man kind of thing. And yeah, you're right to compare it to True Grit, its recent remake. Because I was thinking about it with Alec Baldwin, and I was like, what compels him to leave SNL and his weird comedy career behind to do a Western? To have something horrible happen on set, to fight for years. When we started this podcast, we were talking about Rust.
Yeah, and that was a long time ago.
It's been 4 years. And so now he's doubled down, he's filmed it, and it's going to be released. So it means something to him. Now I'm thinking, is there a point where all old white men actors just do a Western because they just romanticize them as like, look at Kevin Costner. He always did Westerns, but this recent one, American Saga,
Yep.
it's like, dude, you're too old though.
Tom Hanks did that one.
Oh, News Around the World.
Yeah. There's always the one, and I just miss the fun ones.
Like what?
Two Mules for Sister Sarah.
You're not getting that again.
But
that was a one-time thing.
But that was fun. Young Guns. How about that?
Never gonna get that again. There's no cute boy band out there.
I know, but we could get Timothée Chalamet. Start there. Get the boys.
Damn.
He could do a Western. I'm amazed he hasn't. Honestly.
What do you mean? He did 2 movies where he's out in the desert. Dude.
And he did a movie with where he wore a very impressive hat.
And hung out with a little person.
Not a real little person. It was a CGI tall person.
Yeah, who's actually just a grump guy.
Yeah.
Tom Holland's done Westerns.
He has.
Or neo-Westerns.
Yeah.
The Devil Made Me Do It? No.
That's not...
The Devil and I?
Yeah, yes. That one with Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, where he's fighting Robert Pattinson.
That one gets, like, every now and then I remember that one and it makes me sad.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
So, the Rust trailer told me nothing.
Nah.
And I just gotta move on. When it hits streaming, I'll check it out and maybe do a film review, just because it's got such a sordid history behind it.
Maybe.
It'd be fun to have that under my wing, but I don't know what the movie's about, other than it's just a grumpy old guy.
Yeah.
Pixar has announced it's working on Coco 2. I know we're all holding our breath in anticipation for this news.
Yeah.
The story was so good, it needed a sequel.
Did it?
No.
Especially because, why is it called Coco 2?
Well, right now it's just the working title.
I don't... certain movies don't need sequels. This is one of them, I'm gonna say.
I don't know what else we could do. Wasn't the whole point coming back to get his grandpa, and then the resolution that they have, that his grandpa was actually this awesome, cool guitarist the whole time?
Yeah, the other guy, Hector.
Yeah, because the other guy was stealing from him. Yeah, and then Coco finds out that his lineage is the cool one.
Mm-hmm. And they remember him because they have his picture, and so he can visit on Dia de los Muertos.
And there you go. It's a solid story. It's done.
Like, what's gonna happen? Miguel trips his way into the land of the dead again?
Or they do a crossover with Encanto.
So, did you hear about Encanto 2?
Yeah, but I've known about Encanto 2 for a while.
I don't know how I feel about Encanto 2. I feel like that one has more room for potential.
There's other siblings and cousins.
They could grow up. They could have their own families with new magic powers and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I just don't see what Coco 2 would offer that isn't exactly the same as the first one.
Yeah, there's not enough characters, right? Is that what you're saying? Maybe... No, they wouldn't even do that. They won't even dare to tell the story from, like, some other kid's perspective.
Yeah, because...
It would be too jarring for Disney. Mm-hmm. The little kids that they're trying to market towards. I don't know. I don't care about Coco. And I was telling you this the other day. I was looking at a package of yogurt, and it has the Pixar characters on it. Mm-hmm. And one was like Woody, and one was Dory, and one was Mr. Incredible in his suit.
Yeah.
And then there was Coco. And I had to do a double take because I was like, all these characters. Oh, like Mike Wazowski's in there too, right?
Yeah.
And you see them and you're like, oh, these are like famous characters. Even when Mr. Incredible's dressed up, it's Mr. Incredible, right? He looks pretty iconic. And then there's just a Mexican kid.
It was Miguel. Well, did he at least have his like face paint on, or is it just him as a little boy?
It's him with his hat on.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. Big eyes. The biggest eyes in the world.
I'll be honest. There's iconic things from.
Is his name not Coco?
No.
Who's Coco?
Coco was his grandmother. His great-grandmother.
Why is it named after the grandmother if it's about his grandpa?
Because it...
What is even happening?
She was the grandpa's daughter. And so she was the last living member who knew what he looked like. So she was the last chance he had at getting his memory restored for the family. So he could visit.
I'm going to have to rewatch this one.
Yes. I think it's good. It's good. Hector is the one who is much more iconic and should be put on yogurts. By the
skeleton, right?
Yeah, he's a fun skeleton man who dances. Like. Yeah.
That would have made more sense. I would have also been like, oh, what? But then also it wouldn't just be a kid.
You know what? Now I'm doubting if his name is Hector or if the other guy was Hector. The kid was definitely
Tulio, Miguel. Hector.
I just remember Miguel talking about Hector a lot, but I don't remember if it was to him or about him.
Okay. Yeah, Coco 2, here we go. Indiana Jones in the Great Circle, which is the video game that came out on Xbox by Bethesda, will be released in the middle of April for PS5.
Hooray!
I'm excited for this because... after Wukong, that is the next power on.
Nice.
Because I wanted to play it, and supposedly it's a good Indiana Jones story.
And
I was like, I haven't seen one of those in my lifetime.
There's a lot of potential with Indiana.
Yes, there is. So I'm excited for that. If you think about it, did Last Crusade come out before I was born? I think so. It's like 91. So the only Indiana Jones I've seen is Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny.
Woof.
Which most of us, that is. Yeah, so we're just late to the party.
We sure are.
And it's not good. Okay, Nintendo, what are you doing?
They're gonna... So, hooray, the day after coffee break, they're gonna have a direct, so we don't get to talk about any of that stuff.
Nope, so don't even worry about it, but... There's another direct next week. Yes, there's 2 directs. This first direct...
It's just about games on the Switch.
On the Switch.
It's not going to talk about the Switch 2.
Because the next direct, April 2nd, is all about the Switch 2.
What could they possibly announce?
I was thinking about it and I was like, Metroid Prime 4? Well, okay, so we were looking at the App Store. Wait. Nintendo shop.
Yeah.
And we were going through it, like, what's coming up. The only Nintendo games on there were at the very end.
And it was Legend Zaw.
Yep.
And,
the Pokemon Champions and Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
That was it. After a long list, we probably went through, 75, 80 games of all just indie nonsense. Most garbage. And then at the very end, and there was no release dates on these.
I feel like it's going to be one of 2 things. Either the direct tomorrow is going to be like all weird little indie games that That
would be fun, but they should have told us it was a showcase, an indie showcase.
Yeah,
they usually do.
Or the Switch 2 is a lot further out than we were expecting. And these are games to,
tie us over for the summer. I expect to Switch 2 this holiday season.
Yeah.
I know a lot of other experts. I don't even know what makes you an expert at there.
Video game, theorizing about video game experts.
I played with the last analytics of the, 30 years of consoles, and I've realized that this day would be a good day to drop it. You got paid to do that?
I also read otaku articles.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. Well, I read them and I'm just like, who is sitting there thinking about that? I would just say, okay, holiday season, big sales.
That's when it usually happens.
Also, economy, down, right? Are you ready? Movies, video games, basically all forms of entertainment, skyrocket.
Yep.
And everything else goes down. People aren't going to buy homes. People aren't going to buy cars.
Nope.
You know, groceries aren't going to be as good.
They buy things to make them happy.
Yes, to entertain themselves. We've seen this. We've been through quite a few recessions.
Yeah.
More recessions than Indiana Jones. Sorry, but that's the truth. And I would think that if you release the Switch 2 this holiday season, a lot of parents would pull out the money to buy it to entertain their kids, to try and hide the misery.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
I mean, it's a dark thought, but I am very much correct on this.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get it all next week and the week after.
Yeah, and
soon.
so next week is basically just big Nintendo week because we have 2 directs to talk about. And I'm really curious about why would I want to switch to? I've now done a 180.
The only thing I can think of is
Better hardware?
like nicer graphics, maybe. But even like, how nice could it look?
Yeah. So you got to sell me on this. And then, since it is a Nintendo week for us, my next film review. I know I'll talk. No, what? I'm confused. Anyways. My next film review is the new Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to just hype up Nintendo and let's get ourselves out of that Kangaroo Jack hole.
Woof. Oh my god. It keeps like popping back up in my mind. Various moments that I hated.
Yeah.
And I hate this.
It's part of my search history now, so I have to deal with it. Whenever I do one of these film reviews, it becomes part of my search history. And so sometimes I'm like, it's fine, but then I'll get like a random, like, this is what happened in Alien. And I'm like, I'm not watching Alien right now.
How many Kangaroo Jack things can there really be?
Yeah. So last week's question, are you guys excited to see Snow White? It's 100% no.
Ooh.
Yes. There's no reason to talk about it other than the fact that we are now going into box office trolls.
The box office trolls.
Okay, number 1, Snow White.
Yeah. No one wanted to see it, but people who did sure did say Rachel Zegler was the only good part, which I'm excited to see because I've been very nonplussed with her as an actress, and so I'd like to see her do very good.
I've seen a lot of people complain about just how bad the movie is.
Yes, Gal Gadot especially.
Yes.
They say she drags the whole thing down.
Damn.
It,
Damn. I saw the scene where she is in the mirror and she drinks the potion. It looks bad.
yes.
And like you complained about Snow White's dress, right?
Yeah.
Which it's still not that bad. Even after last week's podcast, we went back and looked at it. It's not that bad.
To each their own.
Yes. So, the hat.
Her crown thing.
Yes,
It's ugly.
they did it
It is ugly.
with the black drapes on the side of her face, so you can only see the white of her face. It's horrible. I thought it was a terrible drawing and design when I first saw the animated film.
I know why they did that for the animated film.
Probably easier to draw.
Yeah, hair is hard to draw.
Yeah.
So that's why Snow has that short haircut.
Yep.
And that's why she covers up her hair. Because hair sucks to draw.
Yeah. Well, they did the thing in the live action, and it's kind of jarring.
It's, ugh. It also reeks of, like, no creativity. You know?
What do you mean? They struggled so hard with the dwarves and what they wanted to do with them.
I know. At this point, I would have killed for that.
The
At least it would be
woodland
different.
critters.
It would have been different.
Yeah. It would have been cuter. Now they're terrifying.
They are so ugly. they're like nightmare monsters.
Yes, they are.
Ugh.
Number 2, Black Bag. Number 3, Captain America: Brave New World.
Yippee!
Number 4, Novocaine.
Cool.
Number 5, Mickey 17.
Good.
Number 6, The Alto Knights.
What is that? Is it alto like stop? Is it alto like tall? Is it alto like the music?
I can see his face. What is his name? Famous actor, plays gangsters.
Joe Pesci.
Close. Robert De Niro.
Oh, I like it's one of like 3 names I could say.
Two of New York's most notorious organized crime bosses vie for the control of the city's streets. Once best friends, petty jealousies and series of betrayals set them on a deadly collision course.
This is the only film he's done for like 8 years. He's made the same movie over and over and over again. And like, yeah, De Niro, you're great at it, but I'm like, okay, I feel like I know what's gonna happen. Let me guess, someone's gonna get the Teamsters involved.
Yeah, it's a biographical crime drama history. So it's a gangster film.
And I bet Pesci's in it.
I would have to wait. Cast.
Cast information. It's loading. There's an ad in the way.
There's an ad and I can't get past it.
Oh, just who cares?
But we have to know. No,
No?
he's not in there.
Wow.
He's probably like an end credit scene.
Probably.
Back to it. Okay, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie,
Good
which
for them.
it's scoring really high.
Yeah.
People are really enjoying this one.
It from everything I've seen, looks great. I don't know much about it, other than it's Looney Tunes. You can't go wrong with Looney Tunes. So
I think people are just happy to see them again.
it might be, especially after the whole Coyote versus Acme debacle, where everyone got like hyped up for more.
You know, ever since I talked about that, I haven't seen anything. So I'm hoping that the deal went through and we will get to see this movie.
That'd be really cool.
Because that one just sounds funny to me.
It does.
And the cast that you already have, it's like, this is going to be a fun comedy.
Yes.
It's
John
gonna,
Cena.
Yeah. I hope it's so hard PG. Where, like, they could have gotten really, like, nasty with it, but they just make poop jokes.
Honestly. Run into walls that paint a tunnel on a wall and then run into it.
And that's what I mean by, like, poop jokes, like slapstick humor.
Yeah,
like,
classic Looney Tunes.
Yeah, so, The Monkey.
Good for them.
Number 9, Dogman.
Cool.
And number 10, The Last Supper.
When is Easter?
Easter is, I think, towards the end of next month, April.
Oh, you were way too early, Last Supper.
I know. It is weird that they started out this early with that type of media.
Maybe they goofed up. It's like, it's near the end of March, right? It's like,
That's one of the fun things about Easter. Because it's based on the moon, right? It bounces around where it would be. Mm-hmm. Which, I don't know. I mean, it keeps you on your toes.
I get Ancient calendar way of being exciting. Ooh, we have to figure out what day Easter's on this year.
Because all the others are just like time-stamped days. You know, Halloween's the 31st, Christmas 25th.
Yep.
New Year's is, well, depends where you are in the world. So, Kangaroo Jack.
Yeah. Is there anything else to say?
So I wanted to explain why I randomly chose Kangaroo Jack. Mm-hmm. Okay? And my intentions with this project were that I knew that it was a notoriously horrible film.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about how horrible the production was, and then I wanted to talk about how bad a lot of productions can be.
Yeah.
And that Kangaroo Jack's not the only film that suffers from these things.
It's a very unique case.
Yes.
I would say.
It is a very unique case, especially to change your genre like that.
Yeah. In such a drastic way.
Oh, yeah. And so I wanted to actually do a podcast about it, and it would have been The Last and Final Garbage Eggs. We decided to ex-nay that.
Yeah.
Then I wanted to do a podcast on my own with the same concept of just me doing this. Then I was like, that's not a good idea. And I don't think I would have fun doing that.
No.
And you would have just listened to me drone on an hour
about
instead of the 7 minutes of
Yeah.
how much I hated this movie. Which I'm amazed it's 7 minutes long, that review. Mm-hmm. Because when I started writing it, it kind of just came to me.
You know what's crazy? I can only really remember 7 minutes worth of plot for the movie.
Yeah, so basically that's why why I chose Kangaroo Jack, and I'm glad to have done it. And at the end of the review, I talk about trying to find a balance with all these reviews. I don't want to just do good and bad. I just didn't mean to go that bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, ugh. It's so weird.
It is a weird movie. It made me feel weird. There's a scene where they're taking showers. They're in the outback and they find this like water hole and there's like a waterfall and they're taking showers. And the main character, Charlie, gets really close to Jesse. And they're trying to have this like sensual moment and they kiss and whatever. Because it's a water scene, you can see her nipples through her shirt.
Yeah.
So many times, even later on in the movie. And I'm like, this is supposed to be a kids movie?
I mean, he grabs her at one point.
Yeah. The thing that Michael Shannon said to them, he goes even further. I didn't play all the audio. He doesn't use profanity past that, but he starts talking about, I'll kill you like veal, and I'll cut your eyes out and eat them whole.
Yeah.
And it's like, these are the leftover moments of this like mobster film.
Mm-hmm. And I remember, like, I watched the movie as a kid.
Yeah.
Didn't remember any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I did remember that the car chase in the beginning took forever. It takes ages for them to actually land in Australia.
The car chase, I didn't even have time to talk about the car chase because I didn't really want to. It was clearly left over from the original gangster film. Mm-hmm. It's really long. It's a lot of things getting hit and blown up.
It must have been a super expensive movie.
When they get to the warehouse that I mentioned, there's a helicopter that's flying so low to the ground, and it's getting close to buildings, and it's just moving around.
Yeah.
Like, whoever the pilot was, he must have felt really comfortable. Mm-hmm. But it's literally like, oh, this is a classic 90s action movie. You know, it kind of had moments where it felt like Speed.
Yeah.
That's not what this movie is.
And it's like, as a kid, I couldn't keep up with the plot.
Yeah.
I was like 7
because
watching Final Destination's trailer.
Yeah, thinking it's a documentary.
But I could not keep up with the mobster stuff. I didn't understand it. They used words I couldn't understand because they were outside my vocabulary. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, when do we get to the talking kangaroo? Because that's what I thought the movie was about.
Yeah. And a lot of people were upset with that because Jackie Legs only has that one scene where he talks. Mm-hmm. And that's because Charlie got hit really hard in the head.
Yeah, it's a hallucination, basically.
It's not even. Like he's just dreaming.
Yeah.
Because he got knocked out. Yeah, the movie, you can watch it. You can get through it. I had to rent it. I couldn't find it anywhere else.
What? No one wants to stream this one?
And when I uploaded it, I was like, I didn't follow the 7-second rule. I kind of extended some things out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm expecting that to come back and get me. And nobody cared. And I was like, oh. So
I don't even know who owns this one.
It's Warner Brothers.
Oh, guys.
It started as a Disney movie, and then Disney was like, no more. And then they pushed it away. And then Warner Bros. Did it. And then when Warner Bros. Realized the kangaroo thing was all that, they still had Disney work on it. Disney did Jackie Legs' animation.
And it's crazy, because that animation is, like, especially for the time...
It is good.
Impressive. Impressively done.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. And what was the last thing I was going to talk about? Thanks for filling that space.
I have no idea. Sorry. Was it about how not funny it is? Was it about how long it is?
It's only 90 minutes.
It feels like it's way longer. Is it about how they just use that one Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre soundtrack every single time Kangaroo Jack is on screen, and it became very tiresome very quickly?
Yeah, that was something else, man. That was just something else. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad they actually made a movie and we can actually sit down. I do not recommend this film for the average film watcher. If you're going to film school or you're interested in storytelling, you know, if you're interested in the arts, I highly recommend you sit down and watch this thing.
Yes. See what not to do.
Yes. And, you know, of course, learning from other people's mistakes will help you. Mm-hmm. Reacher.
Yeah.
Reacher's about to wrap up, and it's getting really good.
This season's been weird,
It has been.
pacing-wise.
Yes.
it's a good story.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna wrap it up in one episode. Watch it be like 2 hours.
Me either, but I've enjoyed the premise of him trying to infiltrate this family to save them from the actual bad guy who's trying to manipulate them. Mm-hmm. That's really fun. I just wish Reacher, when it got to its action, went as hard as Daredevil.
Yeah.
Because those last 2 episodes of Daredevil
Amazing.
overshadow everything else that we watched this week.
100%.
First of all, why 2 episodes?
I'm just...
And why didn't you release the St. Patrick's Day episode last week?
Maybe it's the same thing like with the Easter stuff.
That
They're
they
like,
forgot?
Yeah, it's at the end of March, and they're like, dang it, we missed it.
It's always the 17th of March.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Whoops. No, both episodes were... So, is there anything else we have to say about Reacher?
No, that's why I jumped over to the Daredevil.
Both episodes of Daredevil were so good in completely different ways. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with the bank episode, the St. Patrick's Day one.
Yes.
I liked that Kamala Khan's dad got to be in it.
Yusuf.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yep.
That was a cute way of tying like the story together more.
Yeah, and he showed him an action figure of her, and Matt couldn't see it. Mm-hmm, and I was like, that's great.
This one had a lot of a gimmick I love with Daredevil, which is him using his blindness to fool bad guys.
Yes.
When he can't dress up as Daredevil and just beat the hell out of them with his amazing martial arts. He has to be like quick-witted and sneaky and use his blindness as a disguise.
Yeah.
I think that's super fun. It was a really good one.
It was really fun. I never felt like they were ever in real danger. Just because Matt's on the inside. Mm-hmm. It's like, if I were them, but they don't know, but if I did know, mm-hmm. I would be going to the cops. Because he's going to hurt me way worse than what could happen to me in a jail cell for the night, you know?
True.
What he does to the bad guy.
With his leg?
Oh, God. And that was awesome. Then the next episode.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It was tense. I've said it before, I'm not in love with the Fisk half of the story. This episode, I'm like, okay, now I'm getting into it. Mm-hmm. Now we're seeing things happen.
I love that when Fisk is beating up Adam and Daredevil's fighting Muse.
Yeah.
They're almost like doing the same moves on their opponents.
The parallels are insane.
And the fact that they both didn't kill the guy they were beating up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Muse is also a crazy villain.
He's way too cool.
He's creepy.
He is.
When he nabbed the girl.
Yep.
And I was on the edge of my seat, and he was like getting things ready, and then when he like jammed the like blood-sucking device into her leg,
yeah.
I out loud went, oh shit, because I was like so nervous for her.
Yeah, I thought Matt would have got there a little sooner, and no, he did not.
His entrance was great.
Oh my God. Just staring at the train light coming at you, and then realize there's a man running straight at
like,
you.
Charging.
And then he shoots that grappling hook to come into the doorway to start attacking. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was so awesome. I love that he was trying to choke him. He's literally hanging him by a ladder.
He almost killed him.
He did, and then he had to save the girl.
On the edge. Right on the edge.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Muse is... I'm glad he didn't do any true damage to Muse, because we now have a potentially really fun villain. Mm-hmm. And Muse, for me, being a serial killer...
Yeah.
Is awesome. And if we're going to try and figure out anything, we have to work backwards.
I also... Yes.
Because he's taking these people, and normal people.
Even people who are like, we're fans of yours.
Yeah.
He just kills them.
Kills them, takes their blood, and then makes art with it.
Which I think that part's fun, because I remember it was a documentary or something a long time ago. It was talking about how superheroes, villains... work really good when they're like opposing concepts.
Yes.
Like Joker is comedy and Batman is tragedy.
Sure.
And that's why their dynamic works so well. Matt Murdock is blind? He can't appreciate your art? Muse.
Damn, I didn't think about that.
Because like he can see, quote unquote. He has like Toph vision where he can like see shapes and stuff.
Yeah.
But he could never. He can't read.
I'm pretty sure he has like sonar-like abilities. He's like a bat,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but Batman was taken.
No, it has to do with Justice is Blind.
Yes.
Okay. There's a lot of cool things about Daredevil. Just him as a character. Being a Catholic
Yeah.
lawyer who's blind, who does have superpowers, but we don't talk about that.
And like cool martial arts.
He's crazy good at martial arts. He's very fast and agile.
He learned boxing as a kid.
Yeah.
Because his dad was a boxer.
He's clearly highly intelligent, and he's talented. He's just super talented, and he's just such a complex character.
Yes. I love Daredevil. I think it's great. I'm so in love with this show.
Yeah.
It's been amazing so far.
And the fact that he dresses like the devil
Yeah.
and he lives in Hell's Kitchen.
It's a cool detail that his mask, like, if someone else puts it on, they couldn't see. Like, the eye holes aren't holes.
No.
Because he doesn't need that. I think that's fun.
Though, I don't know if you noticed, sometimes if you get like a good shot at his eyes, you can see that they're just like a lens.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It just protects his eyes from getting hit. Yeah. That was awesome.
I cannot wait for next Sunday.
Honestly, the fact that the first two episodes were basically the original attempt of trying to do this show, and that they just ixnayed that to do a serial killer story.
Yes.
You had me at hello.
But they did a good job making me interested because he killed White Tiger.
Yeah.
Did a good job making me invested in White Tiger and now invested in his niece moving forward and finding the serial killer for revenge.
Hey, we still have to take out the cops.
Yeah. Amazing. That's crazy. That's a plot point.
It is, and it's going to be a fun one. And I have a feeling that him and Frank are going to do it together.
Take down the cops?
Yeah.
That would be fitting if
Yeah.
Frank doesn't like cops.
Does he? Wait.
No, he doesn't. Why would he?
I thought he was okay with cops.
No.
He doesn't like bad guys. That's what it was. I can't...
It's been a while. He had like a creed. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Oh, okay.
Like take what you want or something. I don't remember.
It's been a while since I've dealt with the Punisher.
It's been a long while.
Yep. So that was Coffee Break. I hope you guys enjoyed. What are you doing this week?
Oh, did we get to the end of your list?
I mean, it's Righteous Gemstones, but if you haven't been watching it, watch it. It's fun.
Yeah. That last episode was weird.
It's all been weird, man.
I hope we're done with the setup. Because all 3 episodes have felt like they're setting up something. And I'm like, can we get to the story?
One of the weirdest things happened in that episode where one of the siblings' husband has taken up pole dancing as a competitive sport. And during this competition, he fell on his face and he might be paralyzed. So
we could have done anything to get him in the wheelchair. I'm gonna be honest.
And that is the part of the episode that I've been thinking about the most all week. It's just the pole dancing, just the length we went there.
It was a weird choice. It was weird. We only ever saw him do it once. The way he fell was weird.
Yes. He was holding onto the pole facing down and then just slid down.
Weird choices. But I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be as good as last season, though.
It's got to wrap up somehow, right?
Yeah, but last season wrapped it up really well, I would say.
It's one of those things where it's like, do we need this season? I guess so.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know what the finale could possibly be.
They all die.
They're not good people.
No, they're not.
They're very bad
And
people.
the people they're in competition with are also just bad people.
Yes.
It is a story of just bad guys.
Which makes it fun.
It does make it fun, and that's why it's so funny, because they're just horrible, and you gotta laugh at how just terrible they are at life.
Yes.
So what are you doing this week?
I'm still doing my daily Hell of a Boss reviews.
Nice.
I've made it to season 2 by this point.
Nice.
So yeah. Gonna keep doing that for a couple more weeks.
Okay.
Yahoo!
I thought you were doing it all month.
It's 25 days. but I
Okay.
started in the middle of the month.
Oh my.
So I don't.
Can't remember Easter and you can't remember when your project ends.
I was impatient. I wanted to just start releasing them.
Okay. Clearly, the new Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah.
Um,
That'll be fun.
Wukong.
Yeah.
Doki didn't come out last week. My bad.
No.
Um,
I'm waiting.
yeah. This Saturday, we are finishing all of Doki.
I'm excited.
I'll probably release it as 2 different parts just to be easier on my computer.
Yeah.
But they should be both out and we should be completely done with Doki.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yep.
So yeah,
That's it, yeah.
good stuff.
Hope you guys have a good week. It's summer here already.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah, it's been miserable.
Been sweating every night.
Goodbye.
Bye.